Hello, everyone. How's everybody
Hi.
doing?
Can you
How
hear
are
me,
you?
Sandra?
Yes, I can.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Yes. Hey, everybody. I would like you to meet my friend Kim from
Excuse me.
Our Paranormal World. So, in the house tonight, we have Fergo Farmer, the chairman. We
Hi, Fergal.
have
Hi, Chairman.
Jeremy D,
Jeremy.
Eric,
Eric.
Heidi,
Heidi.
and Mark B,
Mark. How you doing, buddy?
Heidi, Sandy, Westaria. I hope I pronounced it properly. Jess
Hi,
G,
everyone.
Sweetie Pie,
I've
Jess
just
G.
figured out how to see the comments for myself. So sorry if I
Okay,
didn't see them before.
okay. So I'm so happy. Oh, hi, Snowman.
Snowman.
I'm so happy you accepted my invitation for tonight.
Thank you.
Oh,
Well, it's 9 o'clock in the morning for me.
oh, there's my mom. Hi, mom.
Hi, Mum. Where's your mum? Which one's your mum? Oh, the journey awaits.
No, no, this one right here, right here.
Ah, hello. Bonjour. That really is about the extent of my French, though. So,
So be good, guys. My mom understands English.
ah,
I
no
love you too,
naughtiness.
mom. Okay, so I would like to know, how did you come up with the name Our Paranormal World for your channel?
Well, I actually wanted to call it Paranormal World, but then when I searched that on YouTube, there were already a couple, and I don't know. I guess I had this kind of, and it's incorrect. This idea that your channel name had to be unique. Doesn't. There's heaps of channels that are named like other channels. Um, and actually, I think I've since found out that there's another Our Paranormal World. C'est la vie. But yeah, so I just added the hour onto it. It really isn't, it's not that much of a um, exciting story. But I don't know. I just wanted to call it Paranormal World, probably because I feel like, I don't know, everything in the world could be, well, not could be paranormal, but there's so much paranormal stuff going on in the world that, yeah, it made sense to me.
Okay, and you've had your channel for how long now?
14 months since May 2020. It was a lockdown creation. So,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I, like everyone else, we were all a bit, what the heck are we going to do during lockdown? And I thought, oh, well, I'll make this channel that I'd been kind of thinking about for a little while. And initially, my thoughts were to do lots of explores and lots of kind of investigations. But I really, we were locked down and you can't do that. So I thought, okay, well, I'll talk about some of this stuff that I read about because I read a lot. I'm really quite a nerd.
Okay, and you're from Australia, right?
If you couldn't tell, yeah. I'm Aussie. Yeah. We
Okay.
operate on a different time zone though. So when you are all having fun, we're probably fast asleep.
Okay. And for your, you make it like, what's the content exactly on your channel that we can find if nobody's aware about it?
Yeah, mostly, I mean, my big love is paranormal theory. I really like to sort of drill down into those paranormal cases. There are a lot of historic paranormal cases like the Entity case and the Hernandez poltergeist and the Humpty Doo poltergeist, which happened here in Darwin. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. I'd also do movie reviews of paranormal and horror movies, which aren't for everyone, and I appreciate that. Um, Just Ease trying to box a kangaroo. Look, there are plenty of them. We've got plenty of kangaroos. Yeah, so that kind of stuff with the paranormal cases, that was really my focus in paranormal theory. My first video was about poltergeist theory, and that theory that it isn't actually a spirit that's creating this activity, that it's a real human person creating it, just with some sort of uncontrolled, subconscious, and they're not even aware of it, ability that they have. And that research is fascinating because there's been a little bit of research that sits around that says that people who have epilepsy are more prone to that kind of thing. So that some neurological difference in their brain triggers that ability to create that paranormal phenomena, which just is fascinating to me. So, especially when
Okay.
you look at those cases like the entity case, where she was, you know, hate to say it, horribly sexually assaulted by a spirit, and um, the Hernandez case, where someone was actually physically attacked by that spirit. So it's very, very, very interesting stuff to me. Thank you, Claire. You're a darling.
So, guys, if you have any questions, remember to put them in all caps so we can see them better. And without like giving us your secrets, how do you find your stories? It's all in your books or research or
Yes, enormous amounts of nerdiness. I
okay.
read a lot, an enormous amount, and I'll go to the library and I'll sort of check out books, and people will give me books for birthdays and Christmas and that kind of stuff. And obviously, I do a lot of online stuff. Snowman, you're right. A lot of the time it is adolescent. Well, in a lot of the cases, it has
Yeah.
been adolescent girls, especially and boys. But the Hernandez case was interesting for that because she was in her 30s, and so was Doris Byther from the Entity case. She was in her 30s as well. So you're right, Claire. I do live in research and books. And so, I'll find this thing on the internet and I'll go, oh, that's interesting. And and then sometimes it's a complete dead end because it's a fake and it's an obvious fake. There's this really great picture that was taken by a photographer, and it shows this young girl, and there's this kind of spirit looking thing with a kind of skull face behind her. And the story that goes along with that is that her sister was taking photos of her, and no one noticed this spirit behind her. But then she went missing that afternoon, and no one's found her. And I'm like, holy heck, that's interesting. And search it up, and it turns out that it is actually a staged photo by a photographer, and some bright spark has just attached this legend of this girl that going missing from a completely different town, not even the same location that the photo was taken in, to that picture. And so, yeah, sometimes they're dead ends, and I think, oh, that'd be great to bring to the channel, but then it's not because it's nothing. Although I have thought that sometimes I should do some of those. This isn't actually paranormal videos, but I
Okay.
don't know. I'm too busy doing other stuff.
And you take out videos on your channel like once a week, twice a week? Do you have like a
2
regular
times a week.
schedule?
Yep, at least 2 times a week. I do if something like the that windscreen video that somehow the streak went across the snow in the windscreen. And so if a
Yeah.
little video comes out like that, I might just put that out additionally. But
Okay.
it's generally 2 videos a week, which keeps me quite busy.
Yeah. Okay. And you do like,
For paranormal research.
do you have like help for editing or you do all the editing yourself?
I'm sure you sympathise, Sandra. That editing thing is a massive learning curve, and I use DaVinci Resolve. I don't know if anyone else on here uses DaVinci Resolve, but it's a free program and it's super functional. And so I had to learn from day one. I had to. Oh, what's this button doing? What's that button doing? As you can see, if you look back at my really old videos, that some of them are quite raw, and now they're a little bit more. I won't say terribly more polished, but a little bit more polished. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it no. So the answer to that is no. I don't have any help. It's just me sitting here being a nerd and learning new things.
Okay. Do you like narrate your story first, then you build it up with the images, or all at the same time?
No, exactly. Um, well, Jackie, that's I don't know. Is that how I say it, Jackie Evelyn? Um, can I answer that question in a second? Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I
Well,
write that story, or whatever the script is. I write that, and I make sure that I'm happy with that, and then I record it, and in kind of generally about 1 minute sound files because I can't really read out loud for 1 minute without mucking something up. So that's about the limit.
mhm.
And then I grab my Da Vinci and then sort of pop them all in where I want them, and yeah, then add whatever images or videos are going to come along with.
Okay. I thought it was all one banner, let's say, for the whole story. Like you would read it all out. It's all in pieces.
You are a darling. Thank you, Sandra.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I have to because I'm a little bit of an egg, and so I'll go blah 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 and mispronounce a word, and I'll go, God damn it!
yeah.
You don't want to
Like,
hear my bloopers because they would not be fit for your mother's delicate ears. We love you, Mum.
okay. What's this question? What's the difference between a poltergeist and a spirit moving things?
Really, really interesting, Jackie. And I think that it really is only in theory. You, the and this theory's sort of been built up by organisations like the Society for Psychical Research, who've obviously had a look at a number of these cases, and then parapsychology departments that flourished through that sort of 1960s and 70s and 80s period. They're not so big now, although they are sort of experiencing a resurgence. But just from the evidence in the cases, yeah, thanks, Claire. I'm easily distracted. See, I just got distracted. Oh, look, a butterfly. Anyway, yeah, so they have all this evidence, and when people sort of talk about a traditional haunting with a spirit that's in a property, it might do small things, but it won't do anything really large. And I guess it's the scale that tells the difference between just a spirit moving, maybe blowing out a candle or shutting a door, to an actual poltergeist. Some, I guess, diehards will say, absolutely, anytime anything gets moved, it's a poltergeist. But that's not necessarily the case when, from the SPR's perspective, when for them a poltergeist is that sort of uncontrolled psychical energy that comes from an actual person. And the people like Barry Taff, who do believe that theory, they actually also believe in ghosts and the ability of spirits to haunt. And they draw quite a distinction between the two pieces of activity, and it's really based on intensity and whether or not that activity is frequent. Yeah, I believe in poltergeists too, Shandy. I think that it just made sense when I heard that theory. It just made sense to me that, oh, hang on, what's that? Oh no, there it is. Oh, look at that. Sorry. Holy moly! I look like a teddy bear today because I haven't even brushed my hair. And but yeah, it makes sense, that there are potentially spirits out there, but do they actually have the ability to move things on that broad scale? And either one is just as incredible as each other. That perhaps people have the ability to move stuff with their minds. Wow. And in Barry Taft's book, actually, that Aliens Above, Ghosts Below, it's a fantastic book. I've got to say, he's probably a little bit of a cad. You know what I mean? Like, he's a bit of a womanizer, but anyway, he's getting a bit old for that now. But back in his youth, he was a bit of a womanizer, and through his book, he sort of go, oh, and I went out with this girl, went out with this girl. He's diehard bachelor. But anyway, I've just lost my train of thought.
But
Claire, distracted.
would you say that a poltergeist movements are more violent than a spirit one?
And they tend to be directed towards one person. So in most of the cases, they target someone. So certainly the Columbus poltergeist, um, she was completely targeted. The entity completely targeted. The Hernandez poltergeist, she was targeted. But interestingly about her is that the researchers that went in said that she actually took quite a dislike to, I can't think of his name at the moment, one of the researchers. Anyway, he was just the photographer. And it was interesting that she took a dislike to him, and when he went into the roof, he had the experience with the cord wrapping around his neck and hanging him to the rafter. So, you know, what are the chances of the spirit and her disliking him? And that was, part of that, because obviously there is no real evidence that these people are doing this without without actually analysing their brain activity while this happens. Then there's no way to actually tell. Doris Byther, no one can know whether or not she had any epileptic tendencies, but that does seem to be on the list of indicators that people might actually display some of this. Which, and I'm not saying this is actually the case. It's just theory, but yeah, super fascinating, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier when I kind of fuzzled off into brainlessness. The I've just fuzzled off into no, no, I'm joking. No, that activity is no, I have.
Okay, I
Yeah, just
got one
cover it
for
up.
you.
We'll edit this bit out,
Uh,
Sandra.
have you ever had a found a story or something that really uh, scarred you? Like you were amazed this could have happened, or someone could imagine a story like this. Was there something that pops out more than the others in all the stories that you've done so far?
Um, that's a good question. I was probably 17 when I first saw the entity, and I read the book, and that's important, isn't it? Anyone who reads knows that it's important to read the book, because it's a completely different feel. And there I am, uh, not really, Shandy, but I'll definitely answer that. Yeah, it's a completely different feel. The book has so much more information, and although there are differences between the entity book and the movie. The writer of the book, Frank DeFelitta, he was completely cut out of the process of making that movie, and whereas his research within the book was very quite true to the case, the movie wasn't. So it was a little bit, and anyone who's seen the entity knows what I'm talking about. But there I am, sort of 17. Oh, maybe I was 18, because I wasn't living at home, and I'm in my one bedroom flat, and I've got this book about this woman who's being sexually assaulted on a daily basis by this enormous and really quite menacing spirit, and I'm going. So that, and obviously that kind of stuff sticks with you, and
And yeah.
um,
Hmm.
and but my brain needed to understand that a bit more. How can this? You have to ask yourself, if this can happen to someone, why isn't it happening to everyone?
That's
So
it. Yeah.
why doesn't if this is spirits, and you would think if it's spirits and there's all these spirits around, why aren't they always doing this? Why don't they, while you're in the shower, come cheekily pinch your bum? They don't. And maybe that's because they can't. And maybe that is more evidence that actually, for some reason, I don't know why you would do that to yourself, but she was emitting this. So yeah, that case will always stick with me. And the Humpty Doo poltergeist, that's a fascinating case. And you just go, wow, the things those poor people had to live through, just astonishing. Shandy asks if I've ever had it. Disappointingly,
Yeah.
not really, Shandy. Boo. And I'm going to admit that there are times throughout, well, probably even the last couple of years that I've thought maybe ghosts don't even exist, because I've never had an experience. But then I actually had this discussion with one of my friends the other night, and I said, you know what? I've never been bitten by a shark either, but I do know that sharks bite people. So just because it hasn't happened to me doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So that's my thinking. It's really, yeah, okay, this hasn't happened to me. Although in my video list there is one of my early videos, which isn't too poorly produced, so but where I talk about an experience that I had with the Hat Man, or what may have been the Hat Man, something that I sort of wrote off for years as a prowler that was in the house or outside the house. And someone else, very good friend of mine, suggested to me that perhaps it was the Hat Man because it was this enormously tall person with a hat. And in the 80s in Perth, in Western Australia, prowlers tended not to wear top hats. I don't know if they even wear them today, or even in the 1800s. But yeah, so have you ever had an experience that made you second guess what you're doing? No, Barbara, I would love to. I'm 18 and I'm in my one bedroom flat and I'm reading one of the scariest books on the planet. So I do like to be scared. And not in any significant way. I mean, goodness, not real scared, not like Wolf Creek kind of actually in that scared, but no, I'd love it. I'd love to go to a. It would scare me. Don't get me wrong. If I was investigating somewhere and something touched me or, flicked my hair, I'd go, holy heck, and possibly wee a little. But I would love that. It would be absolutely fantastic because that would kind of give me something to chew on for a little while, and I'd have to wonder what the heck that was.
Okay. And are you planning on putting up some cryptid stories like the Dog Man, uh, Bigfoot, or do you have any stories like that?
I've got I am quite interested in Bigfoot because when we think about that whole person generated psychic phenomena that a lot of people attribute to actual ghost phenomena,
Hmm.
even ghosts. Some people say that we actually excuse me, invent those on our own. How does that work with Bigfoot? So I am actually really interested in that. And I think there's a couple of videos, but you've just made me think, yeah, I should probably put them in a little cryptid playlist. But
Yeah.
no, I don't have that much, and I guess mainly because, and I'm questioning myself now as I'm thinking about this because I'm thinking, why don't you? Some of the stories that you've got on your channel, Kim, are just anecdotal. No one's ever researched those. Why not have a look at cryptid stories? So I will. Thank you, my dear.
Oh, good. So we should be expecting some soon. It'll be fun.
Sorry if I'm drinking my coffee.
It's okay.
Do you believe we
Here.
can do things within our mind that others can't? Claire, yeah, I absolutely do. I think that just the way, actually, someone asked this on one of the paranormal groups the other day, and I kind of formulated my um, opinion on that, and because he was asking, "Do you think that magic's real?" And hey, Three Souls, hey Steve, I do think that we have this ability. Some of us have this ability to generate it, and if magic exists anywhere, it's there within the or not the confines, but within the scope of an extremely focused mind and people who have some latent ability, and just the way that some people can sing and others just can't. Some people have a natural affinity for that. And I mean that's just my belief, so there'll be people perhaps like Claire who are really drawn to these kind of mystical doctrines, and they actually produce results. Like, you will speak to people who say that they do witchcraft or any other sort of occult or esoteric practices, and they get results. So it must exist, but what's the cause? Like, Claire says, it's mind over matter. And I really think so. I think that some people are extremely mentally powerful at that level. They might not be the sharpest tool in the shed. They have a particular affinity for a particular thing. Other people can do numbers, which is not my thing. And look, magic isn't my thing either. And I'm certainly not creating any poltergeist phenomenon. I guess I just have superpowers for reading. But boring. But yeah, I really, really do think that.
Okay. And do you have like a bucket list of stories you want to throw out there, or?
Oh, stories. I definitely have a bucket list of places to go to. Well, not a list, but I we all know, Sandra, don't we, that you frequently see these places and go, "Holy heck, I'd love to go there." Um,
Yeah.
I would. One thing that I really want to do is I want to know what Stephen King thinks about the paranormal. Um, Reader, I sort of grew up reading Stephen King, and I know that he believes in God. So it kind of follows that he believes in other spiritual things. So yeah, I'd love to speak to him one day. I don't think that's going to happen, given that I'm in Australia. Um, but don't
I
go
was
linking boob
just
short.
watching his movie just before we started. I
Oh,
was
which one?
watching The Dead Zone.
Oh
For
God, that's
there's
so
like
brilliant.
the tunnel. It's because I plan on going there in August to that tunnel and investigate that tunnel. So I was too curious. I wanted to see how it looked like. So it looks
Ah,
drippy and
dripping.
muddy. So, well, unless it was for the movie, I hope it's all dry though.
Well, that'd be
And
nice. Yeah, dry's
where
better
it's
than.
located, it's like you're like a hop and skip away from Buffalo, New York. So I'm
Oh,
going to be
and is
able to
that far
wave
from you?
hi to Mark. From my house, it's 7 to 8 hours away.
Oh,
Yeah, so can't wait for that.
wow.
And I also found the house of that clown there. It,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, I found they,
Pennywise?
yeah, the Pennywise. That's it. For because they did a part two, and parts of the part two were filmed here also in Ontario at this house. So I'm gonna be trying to go. They're both like on the same direction. So I'll go through the tunnel first, and on my way back, I'll get the house.
Exciting.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Mark, I've just seen your comment. Stephen King comes near a place by you. Please ask him, can I please interview him? Because I'm fascinated to know.
Oh,
This is a brain that has created all of these stories, and Sandra, interesting that you mentioned the dead zone, because that's exactly what we're talking about, that this person has this physiological change in their
Yeah.
brain that enables them to see things that they couldn't before. And that is just a brilliant concept. I think that sometimes, to be honest, Stephen King stuffs up pretty much every ending he's ever written, but his stories in the meantime are really fascinating. So,
Yeah.
Three Souls has got two big investigations on the weekend. Lucky you.
Oh, this weekend. Oh, Three Souls. They're keeping
Woohoo.
busy.
I want to come
They're
with you.
keeping me busy watching their
Yeah.
videos. Oh, hi, Sam Jr. Uh,
Yeah, I completely love Stephen King. Brilliant that you mentioned The Dead Zone, because it was a brilliant book. And actually, did anyone ever see the TV series? It had can't think of his name, but he was in The Breakfast Club. You know, the nerdy kid from The Breakfast Club. Oh God, I'm showing my age. Um, Stephen King's Cell. Yeah, Cell was a brilliant story.
yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, so other than that, you've got all the cool places over there, all the
Yeah,
cool like
well,
sanitariums, and
yeah, we
we
just
don't have
have
any.
to research and research. When you have nothing to do, research again. And
And what's the go with the sanitariums? Like, do you have to pay to get into them? I mean, I'm
uh,
assuming they're
here
just
in
standing
Canada,
open.
we have one here in Canada. Well, in the province of Quebec, it's number one. We have a list of 10 top haunted places in Quebec, and this one holds number one.
Okay.
And for so many um, accidents and stuff like that that happen to this place, we can't even step foot on the grass no more, or even stop the car right in front of it. So yeah, so that's but it was the number one on the top 10. So oh, I think
Mm.
I saw a question tomorrow night. No, okay.
Hey, Adsy.
There's
Tomorrow night they're
Adsy.
live. Oh, tomorrow night you're live. So that would be 9 o'clock in the morning my time tomorrow.
Something like that. Yeah. So you could give us like lottery numbers or something since you're
I'm
tomorrow.
in the future. Future me, future me. No, future me is just as foolish as past me, but that's okay. Um, yeah,
Oh,
no, you do need to go. Mark said you'd need to go, and
yeah.
Stephen King coming out soon. Lizzie's story. You
Have
know
you
what? I
heard
haven't read
about
every
that one?
Stephen. No,
Me
but
neither.
I just think the guy's a fascinating mind, and it makes me wonder, like, how do you create this if you don't believe in this? But maybe
You
he's just
think
a good
he
writer.
doesn't believe in it in what he
I don't.
writes, or
I don't know. He's never really spoken publicly about it, and I know he believes in God. Um, excuse me, and so it would follow then that if he does, but and I don't mean to cast aspersions on anyone's faith. A lot of people who are religious don't believe in ghosts, like human spirits, because they believe that when a human dies, they either go to heaven or hell.
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't believe. So yeah, I don't know if what Stephen King. It'd be interesting though. I'd love to know. I want to know, Stephen. So come and let me interview you.
So he's like your favorite author, or you have other authors
Well,
since you read a
he's.
lot and
I'll read a stupid amount, and no, look, I kind of read sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, and I don't read as much horror anymore because basically I've read pretty much everything I wanted to read. But I can go back now because I'm getting a bit loose in the marbles upstairs that the memories fall out all the time. But no, my favourite author is probably a sci-fi author or a fantasy author. But um, I do love Stephen King, and he seems like a nice guy. And,
Hmm.
people walk past his house and take photos of it. And I know he's got a couple of houses, so it's probably not the one he lives in all the time. But geez, that'd bug me. People taking photos of my house. I'd go out there with my broom and chase them away.
Yeah.
Get away! Go on!
Okay. So, how do you see your channel from here to, let's say, 3 years from now?
Truly, I mean, you know, this is the worst question in job interviews. By the way, where do you see yourself 5 years? I don't know. No, my plan is to just be able to keep going, and I guess that that people would um, potentially trust me with my research abilities, that they would potentially offer me um, stories to research. So it's absolutely fantastic when people allow me to use their stuff, because I have some sort of frog in my throat. It's not coronavirus, thank goodness. Um, yeah, so I guess my hope is that I'll gain some credibility as a researcher, not necessarily as an investigator. There are some investigations on my channel, um, but you know yourself, Sandra and Mark, and all the three souls, and um, what you tend to do as an investigator, especially when you just don't have um, the funds to go internationally or even interstate, what you tend to do is you tend to spend a lot of time hanging around cemeteries, and it's okay. But I have a teenage daughter, and she doesn't necessarily want to come and do that. Actually, funny story. Actually, it was probably not that funny to you. Maybe I shouldn't. All right, I have to say it now, don't I?
Go for it.
Um,
Go for it.
my daughter, I said to my daughter, I think she was about 12 actually at the time, and I said, let's go and look for some ghosts. And she's like, oh God, I don't really. She's not into scary stuff, which is a disappointment. But anyway, just keep that between you and me. Um, she and I said, look, it'll be fun. We've got these onesies, and they're special onesies, and they're black and red, and one's a rabbit. Yeah, no, one's a cat and one's a bat. And so the bat one has wings and the cat one has little cat ears, and they've got like eyes up here and stuff. And they're big and black, and the cat one's got white on the front, but the bat's got red. Anyway, so we went up to a fairly local cemetery, and it's active, like, well, not active ghosts, but it's people are being buried there daily, and you really technically aren't allowed to go inside at night. It's
At
about,
night, no.
yeah, I mean, but you do, because they don't really close the doors, so you can just walk in, and realistically, they probably don't mind if you're not doing any vandalism and stuff, which obviously we weren't going to do. Um, but oh, Demon of Brownsville Road. Oh, I have to look into that. Thank you.
Oh,
Love your
yeah.
work. Um, but yeah, so we walk into this, and it's got this big sort of driveway that goes in through these big gates, and they're open. So obviously that's an invitation to people in onesies. And we've got our sort of EMF meter and all these other not candles, camera and torch and stuff. And someone must have driven past, and they must be, I don't know, in some way affiliated with the cemetery. And they drove past, and they saw us being plonkers walking along, and and they came in and they said, you're not supposed to be in the cemetery. What are you doing? And we're standing there. I'm standing there in this cat onesie. It's black, but I'm standing with like an EMF meter in my hand, and my daughter's like dressed as a bat. And I'm like, oh, we're just here looking for ghosts dressed in onesies. And he went, okay. And honestly, you could see him mentally like, I want to get away from these people. They are nuts.
Things
And
you
he
can
said,
do in onesies.
yeah, well, and anyway, he went away, which is best. And we sort of walked a little bit through the cemetery, and she heard some noises and she got a little bit frightened. So we left. But I thought the power of the onesie would protect her. She didn't agree. Um,
I'm laughing so much. It's because my bachelorette party, we had to wear onesies. It was mandatory. So I was the unicorn with the wings, rainbow
oh,
unicorn. But onesies and alcohol
photos.
do not mix, okay?
No.
I'm telling you now, don't try that at home, guys.
Well,
Onesies
how
and
the heck do you get
alcohol.
out of them? How do you, like, you have to sort of pull them all off
You're
and go and do your wee.
stuck. You're stuck in it, and get up. Yeah, I personal experience. Onesies and alcohols do not mix. So I guess cemeteries and onesies don't mix either.
Well, yeah. I mean, at no stage during that very brief investigation did I have to wee, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't imagine it would. Well, it was cold too, so we wanted to put the onesies on. But
Okay, so you're gonna
yes,
have a
Heather,
onesie and a
onesies.
glass of wine, or a onesie and the cemetery. New
Exactly, Claire.
challenge.
Look, I really want to see everyone in onesies in that. Mark, get your
Oh
onesie on,
yeah,
buddy.
yeah,
Um,
that'd be good.
but you have to make it a bit fun. And oh, there you go. I mean, I don't think I'd do it again. I felt like a complete nutter. When this guy said, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "We're just in the," because unfortunately, if you ask me a question, I'll tell you the truth, and it's a real problem for me. Never, ever, ever commit a crime near me, because if I have to be on the witness stand, you're going down, because I just have to tell the truth. And so when he asked what we were doing, looking for ghosts in onesies, obviously. What do you think we're doing?
Okay, serious.
Please do, Claire. I would love you to do that. That would be so cute. I know you've got a
Onesie.
onesie. So look at the size of my coffee. If I put it closer to the camera, it looks even bigger. Sorry.
Yeah, I just do alcohol and what? What did he say? I just do alcohol, but shorts
A
and
t-shirt.
t-shirts.
Yeah. No, well, Mark, I don't know. I mean, you can up your game, really, can't you? And you can step up to the onesie level.
Yeah,
Sandra's showing you up, buddy. Sew them
yeah.
together.
Who said that? So together.
Shandy. Of course,
Oh,
Shandy. She's got an
yes,
unbelievably cool sense of humor. Um,
yes. She's so wonderful.
Sew them together. Can you imagine him? Can you sew? How many of the boys out there know how to sew, like hand sew? It's a
Eric
lost art, isn't
does.
it?
Eric does. He knows how to
Eric.
use a sewing machine, and I don't
Oh,
even
is that your
sew a
Eric?
button. Yeah, my Eric there. Eric
Oh,
is Zen Urbex. He's my husband.
oh, he's beautiful. He's always so welcoming. He doesn't show himself on camera. No, he does not, Barbara. Um, Claire's got a donkey, a cow, a fox, a unicorn. That's an unbelievable amount of onesies, Claire. And yeah, if you could please display those for us, that'd be. Well, you know that in my live tonight, I, I got up with the times, and I've got StreamYard now. So in my
Yeah,
live tonight, you can get in on your onesie, Claire. In your onesie, not on your onesie. Don't.
it's gonna be 6 in the morning for us.
Oh, I know. I'm so sorry. This
I'm gonna
time
try and set
zone.
the alarm, see what happens, if I can make it or
Oh,
not. I'd like
I
to
would be
make it.
extremely honoured. Because I want to talk about dreams, because again, that's another fascinating piece of theory that no one really understands. And I've just, yeah, I want to hear from people
Look
about
at.
their dreams.
Oh no, not this one. Next one. Where'd
Noah's
it go?
Ark of onesies.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I yeah, I've got two, but Mark doesn't show himself because he's wearing a onesie.
That's it. We solved the mystery of March. Yep, 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 yep.
Oh my God, I'm sorry you had to see my stupid laughing face, but that made me laugh. Mark can sew by hand. Oh,
Oh,
Shandy dreamt about Lilith. Shandy, settle down, mate. That's not okay. The link pinned to Our Paranormal World isn't working. Oh,
oh, that's me.
I'll try to be there, Kim. Thank you. That would be great. Look, I understand if you'd prefer sleep. Heaven knows I prefer sleep most of the time. So wear it back to front and put eye holes in the hood. She's a thinker, that Shandy. I swear to God.
Yeah, she's fast on great
Oh,
remarks
God.
and stuff.
Look,
She's,
because I've got a hood here, but
I don't.
I don't think it. Oh, yeah. No, kind of. Oh, look at that. I look completely suspicious now.
But it's really
Wait.
hot in the onesie, though. Was it in the summer or in the winter when you
No,
did
in
this?
winter because Brisbane is semi-tropical. So, our temperatures might not get up, beyond about 35 degrees Celsius. Um, but the humidity will be up at, 60, 70, well, not maybe 70, but quite high. High enough that you get uncomfortable when you get out of the shower and you immediately start sweating and you curse the world. Um,
Okay.
so in summer, to wear a onesie like that, only an insane person would do it in Brisbane. But yeah, winter, Brisbane gets quite, well, for us people who are used to that hotter weather, it gets quite cold. And yes, so we went in winter in our little onesies with, we're doing this. And, and poor Abby, imagine having a mother like me. Poor darling. Um, Sandra,
Hi.
love you, sis.
Whoops.
Oh, it's what
This
the hi,
one.
what the?
Hi, sis.
I
Sandra,
want to know
love
where
you,
What the
sis.
Paranormal got their name. It's probably been said on a previous live, but I'm late to the party with What the. So I oh,
Okay,
that's what.
stay safe, Amy.
Yeah. So, but when's the witch house booked for, Sandra?
I'm planning on going in October, so I'd like
That's
to
right. It
go
is October.
the 5th of October, somewhere by there. It'll be our wedding anniversary.
Oh,
It'll
happy
be,
anniversary, you
yeah,
lovebirds.
yeah, it'll be our third one. Our second one, we couldn't do anything because of the virus. We wanted
Oh,
to go back to Ottawa where we spent our honeymoon and stuff. So, but this year we'd like to go to the witch house.
third wedding
Yeah.
anniversary. So your onesie escapades were not that long ago.
No, not that long ago.
In fact, you may have been onesieing while I was onesieing up the cemetery.
Probably. My daughters were organizing my bachelorette party. So we had candy galore, ice cream galore, everything a girl wants, you know?
Aww,
Yeah. And it was
that is
mandatory
gorgeous.
to wear onesies. And
And so is Eric, is he keen on the paranormal? What are his
oh,
beliefs?
he's freaking out. He's like, oh, because I show him, like, look, there's a face. Is there a face? Where? And I said, look, right there. And he goes, oh, yeah, I saw it. Oh, okay. Like, he believes and doesn't believes. And when he has the proof in his face, he's there, oh, okay. You know,
Okay.
he's, yeah.
So he's clearly open to the whole subject, but he's not,
Yeah.
but it probably maybe scares him a little bit.
Oh, he won't show if he's scared or not, eh? So,
No,
and we can talk all we want. He doesn't understand English, so
doesn't he? He
yeah,
does so.
no, he doesn't. So he's. I guess it's because he never thought of paranormal or
Yep.
something, you know.
It
He'll
just
think of
isn't.
cars, computers, all that. But he never stopped himself to watch like a paranormal thing or something. And he really liked abandoned houses. I showed him abandoned, and he got really good into that. He's, oh yeah, I like that, and you know, he discovered him. He's discovering himself as I drag him along with me.
Opening up new worlds for him.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
yeah.
there's plenty of people who just don't, that it doesn't come onto their radar. They don't think about it. And I think
No,
unless, and I don't know, unless you either have someone that introduces you to it or you have an experience of your own and that makes you go and search it, there's no real reason to think about it, I think.
mm, yeah. I think he never like. I know he doesn't like to go into funeral homes, funeral parlors. He
Yeah.
doesn't like that. No, no. Me, I'm the first one there, and I have to touch the corpse, and I have to kiss it. I have. That's how I am. Yeah. When my my stepfather passed away at the beginning of last, no, it was last summer, and I just opened my app to see if I can talk to him. I was
Wow.
outside. And, are you there? Are you there? Can you hear me? Yeah.
And did you
That's
get any
the only.
responses?
I got responses, but it was from someone else or
Oh,
something. I don't know. And I was in where like my poor stepdad. He was in his coffin, and I was like, you have chairs and you sit, and you know, I was just playing with my app and showing my cousin, and let's see if he's gonna talk to us. And we were only thinking of that. I guess it was a way for me to forget my morning or something, you know. But yeah, I'm.
wow.
Yeah, but Eric, he in and out in the funeral homes. That's how he is.
Yeah, and fair enough. I mean, the whole thing is quite discomforting in the thought of our own mortality, you know, and
Yeah.
why, and especially people who are very practical thinkers, which Eric probably is, especially if he likes
Yes.
cars and stuff. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, why do I need to have these bigger questions in my mind when I can just focus down on what's actually in front of me? And
Yeah.
I really respect that way of thinking. I just think I'd really love that to not have all these questions and be able to focus on here for once.
Yeah. Well, I always wondered, where do we go when we die, and you know, stuff like
What
that. And
happens?
my dream job when I was a teenager, I wanted, it's because I didn't find where to study for this. I wanted to be the makeup girl for the people in the coffin and fix
Wow.
their hair and do the makeup and stuff. Look at Mark B. He makes me laugh when he does that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mark.
so my dream job was that to put makeup on corpse and you know prepare them really nice for their family and stuff. Yeah, that was something
Wow.
I wanted to do as a teenager, but I didn't want to go through the whole course of the embalming and that, all that
Because you have to
stuff.
do the whole shebang.
Yeah, I think so. So
Mm.
I said, oh well, just go into regular hairdressing.
So are you a hairdresser?
I took the course, but never worked for a salon or anything. I just dropped it.
And
I
do you,
experienced lots of things.
wow, do you cut all your friends' hair and
I used to before, and not no more. What is? What did she? Oops, not here. Not this one. This one right here. Sandra Pink videos. I did that. Nope, never again. Oh yeah, it's true. Barbara wanted. Was that? Yeah, she was a cosmetologist. Yeah, there. I'm a
for the
cosmetologist.
dead people, Barbara?
Yeah, she did it for her friend. one of her personal friends.
Oh, okay. So you
And
did the makeup for a particular friend
yeah, a
who'd
friend.
passed
But
away.
I think that's what I understood at one point when we were talking. Uh,
Oh,
I
that'd be
will let.
confronting. See, I'm not big into dead people, and when you said kissing the dead body,
Oh
I'm
yes,
like,
if it's a member of my family, I'll kiss the cheek, the hand.
well,
I'm
well,
a level four, completely transparent and beauty. Oh,
that Barbara. Oh goodness. I mean, the actual appearance of a dead body, especially when you don't see them in the funeral, when they're actually, kind of freshly dead, it's not a pleasant experience. Seeing an actual human completely drained of blood, and the
mm,
way the blood pools at the back, it's just freaky. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. And I know some people are really keen on that kind of thing, but like reconstructing faces when they've been in accidents, and
yeah,
God,
yeah.
yeah. No, I'd make that face a lot. I'd be like, ugh. People go, out you go, Kim.
Okay, so does anybody have any more questions for Kim? We got 5 minutes left, about 2 minutes.
Thank you for having me, Sandra, you gorgeous thing.
Oh, thank you for
We love
accepting.
you.
Oh, I love you too. I love your work. You're inspiring to me. All these stories and everything. Wow.
Just imagine me sitting in my little nerd chair doing my nerd things.
Good night, Lisa.
See you, Lisa.
Okay, and guys, don't forget Mark B.
Thank you, Heather, you gorgeous lady. Love your
He's
work.
going to be in the premiere like for 8 o'clock, like right after me, and it's going to be part 6, or because I was part 5, so I guess he's part 6, about the investigation of
Alexandra.
Shandy's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you following that series?
I have been.
Oh,
But
okay.
unfortunately, I just can't get to premieres sometimes because of that time difference. And we've got school and we've got all sorts of other things. And today, Abby she does Navy cadets, so she has to go off to that, and I have to take her to that. And
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Look at
so
Snowman's job. This is my friend Snowman. He's been
process
on the
obituaries
show.
for a newspaper. Oh, cool.
Mm,
See, that's a bit more my style, Snowman, a bit more. I mean, do people like dictate to you what they want to say and then you type it up, or do you have to give them some help? Like, maybe don't say I thought Dad was a and say Dad's been greatly missed.
yeah.
I mean, could you imagine some of the relationships people have with other people that you've seen those negative obituaries getting around on Facebook, and I think, oh God, what did you have to do
Oh,
to get hated that much?
coming with Heather. She's going live in 30 minutes.
Ah, Heather, you
Okay,
darling.
so we're going to have to do some double dipping, guys.
That's what I mean. That's one of the reasons, aside from the fact that I'm very rarely together during the day and I'm more together at night. It's one of the reasons why I think I do my lives at night, because it doesn't clash. But then it so doesn't clash that all you guys are fast asleep. So,
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just hoping to share a coffee with you tomorrow morning for 6 if I can make it, because I'm planning on going in filming right after Mark B's video's over. So
okay, okay.
I've accepted someone's challenge and I have to go for it. So,
Snowman's newspaper doesn't accept or doesn't publish negative obituaries. That's really interesting.
oh,
So do
wow.
you have to then help them construct a more positive frame around that?
I think so.
Oh wow, I
Yeah.
would that would be a challenge
Okay.
of a job.
So, on that note, guys, I want you all to have a wonderful weekend, and I love you all, and I'll see you all in your next videos. Goodbye.
Thank
And
you,
thank
Sandra.
you, Kim.
See you,
Bye bye.
everyone.